Blades fans, subscribe to Blades Ramble. Up the Blades.
As always, the Ramble is sponsored by Action Coach Sheffield. If you're a growing business and you want support to continue that growth, they are the people to speak to. Thank you for joining the team for their continued support for the Ramble. Today's Ramble is sponsored by Wellstoned Landscapes. From lawn to luxury, creating outdoor elegance. Wellstoned Landscapes covers most areas of Yorkshire. If you mention the Ramble when asking for a quote, you'll receive 10% off any work. Call Paul or find him on Facebook in the details below.
Yeah. Got a little mate.
You should have seen he says that. He should have seen his face light up when he saw me. What that football content awards.
Oh, yeah.
Like walking back with beers to missus. So me.
Oh, buzzing. You weren't that much of a threat to us back then.
Welcome back, everybody.
Sorry.
Sorry, we're doing intro. Go on.
Yeah. Welcome back, everybody.
To the Blades Ramble.
To the Blades Ramble, to Turfcast, whatever it is, one Leeds. We're back here discussing, this time, the psychological battle between all three teams.
We're going to start off
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to
saying Leeds.
Careful.
Are they going to fall apart? Are they going to fall? Thing is, I'm glad you brought this up because I always want to get a Leeds fan's perspective on that.
It sounds just like it. Yeah.
I want to get a Leeds fan's perspective on it because when you're losing at Pompey and drawing away at QPR, it must be in the back of your head like it's happening again. It must be because I'm thinking to myself, probably not. They'll have enough.
Agreed.
But then I think Leeds fans are thinking it's happening again. It's just
it's not a big lead, is it? It's not a big lead with 8 games to go.
I always use the example of England and getting to a final or a semi-final. Obviously, finals more recently, but that shirt just weighs too heavy and they can't get it over the line. I feel like it's the same with Leeds. Maybe the shirt and the expectation of the big crowd and everybody in the stadium thinking it's happening again, and obviously that anxiety transpires onto the pitch, and then the players start making mistakes.
It's a great point from Joseph.
No, I don't disagree with it. I think it's. I will back us in a sense of I do think it is everybody's biggest game. I do. I think it's everybody in the Championship's biggest game. They all love to play Leeds. They all love to beat us. And there's no way QPR turn up like QPR did or Portsmouth turn up like Portsmouth did at this stage of the season against Burnley and Sheffield United. I just don't think it happens.
Is that because we won there and you didn't?
But I think there's more context to be applied there.
Okay.
But that's not me taking away Leeds' poor performance. It was a poor performance.
Yeah.
It was.
Half,
I've not heard Fratton part like that this season, so it's been quite interesting to hear that. When you're watching the highlights package and they're having an absolute ball at a party when they've got nothing to play for. But fair play to Portsmouth, better team, not bitter. But what I will say, but honestly, what I will say is I do think with Leeds, biggest club in the division, I do think it
outside Sunderland maybe.
No way. It wears heavy. It wears a lot heavier on Leeds than any other club. That's how I feel. But I do think, look, you can bring Sunderland into the picture as well. I think it's we were just talking about the playoff picture in a separate video. I think you go back to the Stadium of Light with an advantage and Sunderland have to win. The pressure is massive. It's absolutely massive, and you can feel it.
On Sunderland as well.
You can feel it.
Yeah.
You can. That's what I mean. Yeah, you can massively feel it. So
young squad as well. It's a lot to cope with, isn't it?
So it is. But it is. It's horrendous, and you look at this is the thing. You're all sort of begging on that, and it's not measurable. Leeds on paper, fantastic team. On paper, we're not talking about on paper.
I think that's why we always
talking
go
about
into
intangibles, the stuff that you can't measure.
I think that's why we always go back to the fact that we think you'll have enough to get up. But then there's always that thing in the back of my head thinking, well, there's signs they might be doing it again. So I'm always interested. When Leeds are 1-0 down, for example, at Orme, or it's 0-0, for example, how are the Leeds fans feeling? Are they anxious? Are they thinking it's happening again?
In January, February, everybody's thinking we're going to come back and do this.
Yeah.
I think it gets to this period, and everybody there
is the time.
There is a weird thing at Ellen Road where it just kind of goes quiet. The songs maybe stop a little bit, and you are getting people doing the old nail biting. Because we've seen it before. You
were very quiet at Bramall Lane when we went 1-0 up, and you didn't score till 77th. We couldn't hear you. And it's expected because it's such a. There's so much riding on it, and we've been quiet at Bramall Lane this season. it's difficult, isn't it? But I agree with Joe. I think the pressure. I mean, 1 loss for Leeds and 2 wins, a win each for us, and you're third.
I think,
as good as you are.
Not that I think Leeds will lose the next match, but for example, if they did and us 2 both win, I think that's it then.
Really?
I think they've crumbled.
Whether they... That's a difficult...
Because we were talking about, because we've said previously that it is quite different being second first and then being third. I
wouldn't want you chasing us.
I think then it wouldn't be that the pressure's off as such, but I think at that point, maybe the whole rhetoric in the media, TalkSport, Sky Sports, they'll all
better to be the hunted
Leeds
than
are
the
done,
hunted
blah, blah, blah,
at this
they're
stage.
falling apart. And then we're kind of going for it with like 6-7 games left with the talent that we've got.
There's a different pressure leading the pack in there, I think, and sort of keeping people away.
We should be far away now, though. We've had opportunities.
You were 5 points clear, weren't you?
Yeah, we should.
Only 3-4 games ago.
Yeah, we should be. It's definitely. I didn't want to call it a blip. I wanted to call it a bit of a wobble.
I think blip's fair.
But I think it is a blip.
What is it, 2 draws and a defeat and a win in your last 4?
Yeah, which the average, that's a massive seasonal average. I mean, it's 5 and 12. I mean, we've been picking up 10 minimum out of 12, really.
I am a bit worried that this is your blip now and then. Obviously, you've got favourable games coming back from the international
break.
That's
the big thing, I think.
I think the big thing in the context of your season
thing.
was when us 2 both drew and then you beat Millwall. If us 2 had both won matches that night and then you'd have gone into that Millwall game third, I think you potentially don't win that. And the anxiety then transpires onto the pitch. And
Millwall as well.
Yeah, exactly. But the fact that we drew, you went into that game going, yes, we can go and win this and comfortably get a gap between the chasing pack, and that's exactly what you did. But I think the next 2 games for you were massive.
2 games are huge.
You win them 2, which I think you do, and then I think you just kick on, which is what I think happens.
Yeah, you've said that, to be fair, Joe, consistently, haven't you? So I agree. I do think if we're talking purely about mentality, I think Leeds I would be most concerned about as a neutral.
Yep.
I think Sheffield United have been tested significantly recently. We dropped points, you could say, against Bristol City at home, but they were more than worthy.
It's just wilder.
They were more than worthy of a point as well, and we deserved. I'm glad we got out with something. But going to Sheffield Wednesday and winning with the pressure on when we dropped down to third because you 2 had played first.
Yeah.
I think that's a huge mind shift and mentality shift in our favour. It tells us we can do what we need to do when under pressure. Burnley are chasing, and that's always an extra little incentive. I think they've got something to aim for. They know what they have to do. There's no excuses for them. They have to go out and win almost every game. Leeds, well, they might get away with a draw here or there, and it's you're teetering, aren't you then on what you can and can't do.
Yeah.
It's better to be the hunter than the hunted.
I agree.
We'll get there. And I feel like at this stage, it's good for us to be where we are. Like Jim just said, to have a thing to aim for, to know what we need to do to get above you.
Yeah.
It's the same for us because we're chasing the title. Really, if we look at it that way around,
You are.
But that's the way we have to look at it. If we were top by say 3 points or 2 points, 1 point, whatever it might be, there's more pressure of staying top, isn't there?
Of course there is. Yeah, no, I think, look, it's when we're talking about us lot, it's, I don't know if you, I mean, Burnley, it just feels any time I've seen Burnley in the Championship, you've gone up and just won it every single time. Sheffield United have been in more battles, definitely.
I know we've said if we both get playoffs, we don't fancy either club's chances.
No,
So you think Leeds might falter if you drop into the playoffs?
Yep.
I think Sheffield United probably will.
So is that a bit of a mental thing then?
Maybe.
I think that's because you 2, like you said, you're in the top 2.
But
it is all based. It's all based on. But there is that. But statistically, 3rd and 4th always go up nowadays because of the gap.
I don't think you look at that as an independent thing, though, do you? But what I was going to say was, and obviously, so that's 3rd on the last day of the season. Do you think if you drop out of the top 2 at any point now, you'll struggle to get back in?
Depends how early for me. If you drop out in the next couple, you might have enough time to drop back in, get back in.
It's talking about mentality, isn't it?
And there's some. I don't think that's that unlikely.
Well, that you drop out of the top
That
2.
we drop out, but then get back in.
Then push yourself back in.
Yeah, I think if you drop out now in your next 2, which as I've already said, I don't think you will, then you'll have time to regroup, get back in. Whereas if you drop out...
Last 4, it's done. Last 4, I think it would be done for us. I think we'd really struggle mentally to get back on
I think the thing that
then
goes in
you two
your...
have got to play
That's what I'm
each
going
other.
to say.
That's the thing. You two have got to play each other.
That's why it's different to last season, in my opinion. Burnley and Sheffield United had to play each other. Ipswich and Leicester didn't.
So if you take that game out, if we didn't have to play each other, who do you think goes up?
Still Leeds, to be fair.
Yeah.
But I do feel like it. I do feel like it benefits them.
You can bleep this guy.
I just think that, like you said, on all the metrics, I just think that they are the best, and it's frustrating as it is.
It would be like if we're talking
We
about...
just need to get into your heads. That's what us two, not us two personally, but Burnley and Sheffield United need to do. They need to get into Leeds United heads, to the fans' heads. And that's why I've been, giving all the banter out, creating these images about a rear wing mirror and Sheffield United. Chris,
I've seen them, mate.
Yeah, I know the fans will see it. I know the fans will see it. I know the fans then get anxious. I know the fans then transpires onto. I'm doing my bit,
and the players see it.
I'm doing my bit. You've got to do your bit.
And Bogle follows Turfcast.
I'm going to retweet. I'm going to tweet him. Shout out to him.
Yeah, no, it is the thing. I mean, players do have social media as well, don't they? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
So
They see stuff.
they'll be aware of the pressures, of course.
They see
but
stuff.
It would be the ultimate. And I know you.
It would be the biggest bottle of the Leeds bottles.
It would.
It would be the ultimate Leeds
But
bottle.
in all fairness, recently, I know there is a big narrative around it, but recently, probably in the last 10 to 13 years, really, I can't really think of many absolute ultimate bottle jobs. It probably is the Bielsa season.
Yeah,
that's the 18-19 season, isn't it? That's that.
And
was
we
the
were
one.
close to bottling it ourselves at one stage. So, and the thing is, it doesn't necessarily come down to bottling it, because it's going to be the highest points total probably for a third place team ever.
Last season, I don't think we bottled it. I think we just.
That's what I mean.
We just ran out of steam.
90 points. You haven't bottled the season, have you?
No.
That's good enough to go up 9 times.
And you went
10.
up on 89, didn't you?
Yeah, exactly.
With Wilder. That's what I mean. So it's like we got to 90, we just had behemoths in that division.
Yeah.
Ipswich were a runaway train, and Leicester and Southampton squads were just very good.
If Burnley get to 95 points and there's 2 teams finish above them, they're absolutely devastated. But you can't say you just got to say fair enough.
Do you think that'll happen? Do you reckon one team will get to? I think one team will get to I think we'll probably
93 maybe.
The third place team will probably eclipse. Did we finish third or did we finish fourth last season?
No, third.
Was it third? So we got 90. Because Southampton got 87, I think.
You got 90.
But so the third team is going to eclipse that, aren't they?
Yeah,
they are going to eclipse that.
Unless one of us falls off a cliff.
Unless Marcus Edwards drops out.
If he picks up an injury.
Yeah, it's done for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's draws. It's back to draw city.
Thank God for the international break.
But I think as well, talking about psychological as well, this come at the perfect time for us. Last season, it came at the worst time for us because
it's come at a bad time for us.
It's come at a bad time for you, 100%. And I do think it has come at a bad. I think it's perfect for us right now for a reset. Swansea back at home.
You could say the same for Coventry though, couldn't you? Because Coventry have had a great run, just won 3-0 against Sunderland, and they come to Bramall Lane next game after the international break.
Yeah, you could, yeah.
I'm glad that they've got a little bit of a break. Also, we've got very few players on international duty this time.
We've got a few.
You've got 15, 10.
Yep.
Are they going to come back fit and firing? Are they going to pick up a little knock here or there? Dan James misses, a game or two or whatever it might be.
But on that, when you do look at, this is another thing with Sheffield United, there is the problem. You've spoken about Marcus Edwards. You have to keep Campbell fit. Campbell has to be fit for you. I personally do not think. I think how good he's been for you, in particular, leading the line. Like almost 1 point. His goals per game has been. 1-0. Tyrese Campbell's been the whole thing, hasn't it? Cannon coming in. I think right now it'd be a little bit raw. Kiefer Moore,
we have got goals elsewhere on the pitch though. Ben Brereton Diaz is a goal threat. Gus Hamer's always good for a goal.
But you've said to me lots of times that it's not just about the goals with Campbell. Campbell does absolutely everything else you want with that forward player.
He's an all-round forward player that's. I think he's the best in the division at the minute. I have to say that.
It's very based on injuries, isn't it? Because if you lose Edwards, if you lost
Campbell,
if we lost probably Tanaka,
yeah, but
who's going to?
It's like this for everyone. It's like this for everyone at this stage of the season, though, isn't it?
Leeds,
like this for everybody.
If you lost Leeds, like right now with the problems that we have, you can sort problems out that we have with Nonto and Ramazan.
If you lost Joel Peru, yes, he's not an out-and-out, goal machine.
Yeah.
But he's been the focal point of your side recently.
Peru, yeah.
Yeah. So that maybe knocks you a little bit.
Yeah.
So we'll see, mate. We'll see. It's a centre half that you don't need to go down into.
Oh, that'd be the worst. Sorry, I don't know why I said Tanaka. Yeah, centre half.
Joe Rodon comes back injured.
Hey, it's done. I think that would be done. I think
really,
yeah.
That bad.
If you got one of them out for a 3 or 4 game period, I don't.
Because who have you got?
It would have to be Ampadu patched up coming back in, and that would be. Even though he wouldn't be fit, I don't think he's fit to come back now, to be honest. But if he comes back, Ampadu's another thing. Ampadu comes back with the run in. If we've got 6-7 games left, if he comes back, it's massive. We just didn't have that last season. Rutter was carrying a hernia. It was last season. Leeds was Somerville FC. It was Crescentia Somerville FC. Yeah. It's way more different this season, and we've got easier games.
Wasn't he playing Ampadu and Rodon though at one stage
as centre back
as a first choice pairing, and Pascal's missing out?
Yeah, Pascal.
You think there's a danger he goes back to that?
Well, if he does, we're in trouble. I don't want to see any striker pinning Ampadu again. I like Ampadu, but at centre back,
he's not the
one. No, he's not the one.
Not centre back.
100%. So mental advantage then. It's interesting. Context applied.
Yeah.
Context applied. I think maybe Leeds have got the most depth, maybe which we didn't have last season. I think when we're looking at maybe players going down, Leeds are probably in the better position in terms of, aside from centre backs, depth wise.
And just to move away from that as well a little bit, I think they've got the better fixtures.
Yes, you are.
I think we've probably got the better fixtures, haven't we? Okay, so what's something? So from two outsiders' perspective, then Leeds fans will say, because they're all petrified right now.
So please say something nice about us.
Yeah, help us. But if Leeds fans are to say, you know, yeah, but these teams have got something to play for. My rhetoric's been back to it. Well, so boy,
you are
you
are guaranteed that at least one of us drops points. You guaranteed it because we play each other.
That's the mentality thing, though. All Leeds fans think that Burnley, Sheffield are going to literally win every single game now,
There's
and we're going to drop points.
There's literally no chance of that happening.
But we're in a weird position where all three of us can say it's in our hands. All three clubs can say it's in our hands.
It is, yeah.
So obviously we play each other.
Yeah.
Are there any of your fan base worrying a little bit, or is it just sort of like calm seas, not like Leeds?
No, they are worrying. You always get a section of fans worrying. It's probably not as much as Leeds, because Leeds are Leeds, and they'll always worry because of what's happened. But yeah, I think there's some fans that are saying, let's just concentrate on the playoffs for us, because they can't see us getting enough wins to catch either of you. But
see, I think that takes the pressure off. I think Leeds can't have that. We just can't have that. It's
see, we're nervous as a fan base, but we're in a good position, aren't we? We're trying to enjoy it rather than fear it, and it's hard because it's getting down to those crunch games.
If you'd have drawn to Wednesday, I think it'd have been interesting.
That's what I was saying earlier.
That win's a huge boost for us. Not just for the obvious reason, but
if Ingleson could score from 5 yards out, that'd have been nice as well. But there we go.
But he can't.
And that's
so hard lines. Shout out Ingleson.
Yeah, shout out to you, mate.
Yeah.
We'll leave it there, everybody. Let us know in the comment section below what you think in terms of mental fortitude. Who's struggling? I think there's an obvious one who we're all going to focus on here. But let us know what you think in the comment section below. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Up the Blades.
Cheers. I don't even say see you in a bit, and he's like, up the Blades.
Well, you can't cut it out if I'm up at top here.